and welcome to Lore, Love, and Loot. I'm Emry.
And I'm Tyler.
And today we're going to talk about one of our favorite traditions at our D&D table, our in-character Christmas gift exchange. So at the start of every November, we pick names from a hat and we give a Christmas gift, but it is not from player to player. This is an in-game, character gift exchange, which is very fun. So we wanted to talk about some of the different things that we've gotten over the years in this exchange to give you some brainstorming ideas if you want to do this at your own table, as well as some perks it actually has in game.
Yeah, you can get creative with it. There's plenty of different directions you can take it.
So it's a little bit harder for Tyler because sometimes I guess you've been an NPC and gifted from an NPC's point of view. You did that last Christmas. But sometimes Tyler also gets gifted as like the omniscient god figure.
Yeah, it's just a gift to a DM.
Yeah.
Right.
Or just friend to friend.
Very much appreciated.
Player to player. Yeah.
So the concept behind this whole idea is that closer to your gifting season, you as a table sit down, come up with an idea of we're going to gift in character gifts to each other. So the idea is that you take your character that you're playing, and whoever you draw out of the hat or whatever the container, you're going to give a gift to them in character. Mm-hmm. So that could be a lot of different things. It could be you think of the bonds you have between each of the characters and think what is something we've maybe done while or during our downtime. If we share a gift of music, then maybe I'll write them a song or something. Yeah. Right. Or maybe it's a song that you've actually kind of said that you play. Oh, we sit down and we play a song together. Maybe you actually make one, right? Or maybe you come up with the words to what you actually did during that downtime.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice way to, I don't want to say force connection, but sometimes, we all know at a table that some characters connect better with other characters. Mm-hmm. And some characters have conflicts within a party group or whatever. But when you're drawing names, it can be random. You need to find a connection, something that ties you with that person so that you can gift them in character something that's meaningful and to do with the bond you have. So me and another character in one of our first campaigns were quite spicy with each other, and she was a very natural druid and I was a fire genasi. Her character was a potter. The in-character gift that she got me was very cool, and it came with a whole letter, so I'm just going to show it here. So this is an unfired piece of pottery, because her character did the first half and made the pottery, and it was up to my genasi to fire the pottery as the finishing act. And so we have this unfinished piece, and there was a long, beautiful letter of connection with it. Yeah. I wouldn't say that our characters had been specifically close. Like they had a lot of friction and issues, and yet she was able to create this beautiful moment between the two of us by what she created as an artist. And you don't always have to be an artist. We're going to talk about some ideas that you can do if that's not your jam. If you can't, what do you call that? Potter? If you can't sculpt a bowl, and that's okay too.
Yeah, and then on the other side, there can be gifts that are just from player to player, and especially if it's going to the DM. There isn't maybe always a specific NPC that their character has interacted with. So you can maybe just pick something from, just as a friendship or something your DM needs. By all means, again, as your group, you can set the parameters of how you'd want to do that. But some groups have an NPC that's maybe followed along often, and maybe that's you gift to that NPC then, because you maybe built a bond. Mm-hmm. But if not, then there's plenty of different things. Sharing a love of Lord of the Rings, let's say, right? You're gifting a key and a map that came with, right? Awesome gift. It's on the wall. You can take a look at a lot of this stuff actually in one of our last video that we just made of a room tour. So all this is up in the space.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of NPCs, you did a very cool one for me last Christmas. I was very lucky and Tyler picked my name, so that was neat. And what Tyler has allowed us to do a couple times is actually create in-game items. So I'll talk about one that I created in a little bit, but you made my character an in-game item. Yep. But not just that. So I got basically, for lack of a better word, a love letter from this NPC that I had a relationship with. Yep. But I used given a hint by my DM, we used a black light on this, and there was a secret hidden message that has led to a ton of in-character choices and moments and things like that. So that was the neatest gift, and it came with a very cool ring, and I have that ring in D&D Beyond as an item. So I wear this every D&D game. Because that's our current table. But that was just such a creative, it was so multi-layered. Like the note that was based on our relationship, and the item that came from him, and it was a protection item, and then the whole other like spy layer. Oh, A+.
I had a lot of fun with this one just because it was, first of all, gifting to your spouse.
Yeah.
Was kind of like, okay, what do I do? Okay, it's got to be character to character because that'd be funner for the table. And these two characters have been having a bit of a romance that's been it's just a fun, like, between our two characters was a lot of fun, but also some tension with the other players. So it was kind of this like, oh, they hate this NPC because he's romancing one of the other characters in the group. So it was fun. It was actually a lot of fun to run that one. That was good.
We've got a couple of crafted gifts that have been given. So we're going to show one crafted gift that did not affect like in-game choices, and then another one that did affect in-game choices. So we had some incredible artists in our groups over the years, but one specifically has created just these beautiful art pieces for Tyler. So
this is the like nesting dolls basically that you and she created different nesting dolls of pretty much the party, and then a couple extras of pets, and well, I guess one extra of one of the ranger's pet. It was so,
her pet.
Her pet.
Yeah.
So it's the nesting dolls, and I won't go through all of them here, but they go all the way down to all sorts of them. But again, watch the room tour video because it shows all of them in a row, and then all the way down to the little tiny one.
It's so cute.
Which was her character as well.
Yeah.
Little gnome. But yeah, that was it was kind of almost, I guess, like a hybrid in a sense, but it was a gift from a player to the DM of the whole party, which was actually really cool.
And then a thing I had created for a player character, and Tyler let me do this, was I had created again on my Fire Genasi, I created a bracer of fire resistance for this character. My art of choice, and this isn't the exact piece because obviously I gave it away, but my art of choice is scale mail. And so I wove like a full bracer that he wore, and I gave him the bracer, and then the item kind of popped up in his D&D Beyond as well. So he got to have a gauntlet that he wore at the table for quite a bit, and then and then an actual item in game that gave him protection from my character in game. So that was a very fun gifting experience as well.
Yeah, that was a really neat one. Well, that was one of the earliest ones of the very first one, I think, of an item that was in game.
Yeah, I think I said to you, I was like, can I?
Yeah. Well, because you were crafting it in game, and it just made sense. It went together really well. So, and I had one other one, which obviously I have no video of, but again, taking any kind of craft that you can do. I had access to a 3D printer, and I was kind of just learning. I was early in the journey, so I found a file and 3D printed a little mini hand crossbow that was actually for this same character. They had a gnome ranger that had a little hand crossbow, so 3D printed it. It worked, and it was
very cool. We had in that same game we had a character who liked cutting the heads off of the fallen foes that we had defeated and hanging them in our keep, and he pulled Tyler's name for the gift exchange.
And then I was gifted with a trophy of one of those kills, and
here he is.
Yeah, here it is.
He is huge, and he hangs on our wall. He hung upstairs above our mantle for a little while, and we have a big owl bear in our home. They made this. We're a very, very crafty couple, and it was incredible. So yes, we have an owl bear that just chills with us in our game room. So we hope that gives you some fun ideas to maybe do an in-character gift exchange at your own table for this holiday season. It doesn't have to be a big pricey thing. A handcrafted letter, some craft supplies, and have some fun. As long as it's from your character's heart and builds on some kind of connection that you have with another character at the table. That's the whole point of this, is that it builds relationship in and out of game, and that's why we kind of love this version of the gift exchange.
Yeah, have some fun with it, be a little silly even if you want, and build some more character connections.
And if you want to see a lot of the things we've been gifted, last week's video was a tavern room tour. So if you want to check that out, that would be great. Otherwise, we will see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye. And today we're going to talk about one of our favorite traditions. And today we're going to talk about